Hi, Dirty Girl here with another vintage sales report from eBay and Etsy. This is for the week ending December 13th, 2015. And look who's here! She's here on my lap, at least for a little while. I had a really good week as the fourth quarter continues to perk along, and so I'm going to get started. I sold 3 items on eBay. The first one is this Kent pocket knife with a beautiful, colorful celluloid handle. And this sold for $28.29, and I bought it for $3. And this is a radio-controlled helicopter. It was new in the box. Sold it for a whopping $7. I paid $1 for it at a church rummage sale. Couldn't believe it didn't sell for more than that. It sat around forever, and I finally just lowered the price so much that somebody had to buy it. This is a Gurkha knife and with a scabbard to go with it. It's from India. The India ones don't sell for as much as some other ones do. They were kind of mass-produced after World War II because they were very much in demand. So this one sold for $42. This is a little mouse brooch from Avon. I paid way too much for it. I paid $5 for this mouse, and it sold for $12. I should know better than to pay that for Avon jewelry. This came from a lot that I bought recently at the flea market. I paid $20 for a box of jewelry, so each piece was close to $2, and I sold this one for $18. This is a fish can opener made from alpaca and abalone shell, and I paid $3 for that at the flea market and sold it for $17. And these are some brass parts from a belt. It's like a hippie belt that came from Turkey. This came from my mother-in-law. You may have seen it in a haul video when it was actually the entire belt, but unfortunately it fell completely apart, just disintegrated. So I have been selling the Turkish eye beads separately from the metal bits, and the metal bits sold for $15. And this is a glass bird paperweight, and I paid $10 for him and sold him for $28, and that was a flea market find. This is a sterling silver souvenir spoon, came from my mother-in-law. It's pretty old, from the 1920s to the 1940s, a really nice one, and it sold for $22. This also came from my mother-in-law. It's a pyrography tramp art box with the poinsettia on it, made from a wooden cigar box, and that sold for $16. And this is a cookie jar that I paid $11.98 for. I thought that it was a little more collectible than it was. Sold it for $22, so I made a little profit on it, and let me tell you, that was a lot of fun to ship. And this is a Sarah Coventry gold tone brooch, the initial C. I guess these were really popular. I saw quite a few of them online. I paid, this came in the lot of jewelry I bought at the flea market, so I paid $2 for it and sold it for $10. And this is a ring I got at an antiques mall, and I paid $10 for it. It was really neat. It had these 4 different colors of teardrop gemstones in sterling silver, and I paid $10 for it and sold it for $24. And this came from my mother-in-law. It's a Navajo-made sterling silver and turquoise bar pin, and I sold that for $30. And this is a hand-carved folk art type razor box from probably right around the turn of the century. It was German, according to the tag from the flea market. I don't know for sure that's the case, but that's what it said. Anyway, really cute, nicely made, good construction. And I paid $5 for that, and I sold it for $24. It's for storing a straight razor, but you could use it for a lot of things. And this is the little obviously Japanese-made jewelry box that said Souvenir of Galveston. I got it at an antiques mall in Texas, and I paid $5 for it and sold it for $17. And this is a perpetual flip calendar made of brass. It's an Art Deco style and made by Brown & Bigelow. The interesting thing about it is that they sold these as advertising pieces, but this one actually advertised the company itself, which made it a little bit unusual. Anyway, I paid $8 for it and I sold it for $28. And this is a rhinestone necklace that came from my mother-in-law. I'd been sitting on this thing forever and sold it for $18. Really pretty one too. This is a stamped tin primitive box painted black. I got this at an antiques mall in Texas recently. I paid $7.99 for it and I sold it for $21. I also got this on my buying trip in Texas at the antiques mall. I paid $2 for it. It's a little copper, molded copper pack mule or burro, donkey, whatever. And when I shined it up, I found out that it was a made in occupied Japan, which was a little bonus. It's a little hard to see, but that does say made in occupied Japan. So I sold that for, I lost it. Oh, $14. And the person who bought it, I don't think cared anything about made in Japan. She wanted it for other sentimental reasons. And this is a Victorian glass stone brooch, really unusual, kind of art glass, reflective, iridescent, really pretty. And it was a true Victorian brooch. You could tell by the construction. See how long the pin is? Where's the back of it? Oh, no picture of the back of it. Well, anyway, it had an old style C clasp, so it really was an old one. And I got that from my mother-in-law, and I sold that for $21. And this is a sterling silver Art Nouveau dinner bell. Someone, for unknown reasons, painted it purple. So I called it shabby chic. What the heck? But it was really pretty. And I paid $5 for that and sold it for $22. And this is another brooch from the jewelry lot that I bought at the flea market. So I paid $2 for that. It's Spanish damascene with little horse and carriage. And I sold that for $14. This is a Victorian silver plate napkin ring that I paid $1.25 for at the flea market and sold it for $18. This was a really unusual piece of jewelry. Well, it's a bracelet and earrings. They're sterling silver with cracked glass. I'm pretty sure it's intentional. These came from my mother-in-law, so I paid nothing for those, and I sold the set for $26. They had an artisan marked KH on it, but I was never able to figure out who that was. And this was a set of art photography. They were loose leaf in a box, these really, really large photographs, just beautifully done in French Guiana. I have been sitting on this forever, but I didn't want to lower the price because I knew it probably was $100 at least when it was new. And I sold it for $35. It came from my mother-in-law. And the person who bought it, his wife was from French Guiana, and he bought it as a gift for her. So I was glad that it found a good home. And this is a lot of mid-century glass ashtrays from Las Vegas casinos. We have the Tropicana, Golden Nugget, and Caesar's Palace. Sold it as a man cave item. I paid $1 a piece for the ashtrays, so those were $3 for the lot, and I sold the lot for $16. And this is a Hollywood Regency 1940s jewelry box, very gold and fancy with a glass top, and I paid $3 for that at an estate sale and sold it for $16. And these are a pair of Art Deco style brooches. They weren't actually, 1930s. They were more like from the 1980s revival pieces, but they were very beautiful and very well done. And I sold the two of them together for $22, and they came from my mother-in-law. And this is a really attractive tea strainer. It was labeled French plate on the back, and kind of an Edwardian style. Nicely done. And I paid, what did I pay for that? $5 for that, and sold it for $19. Another beautiful Navajo turquoise ring. I paid $15 for this at the flea market and sold it for $35. And this is a cast iron match holder that you mount on the wall. I thought it was a little more special than it was. It turns out these must have been manufactured by the bazillion because there's quite a few of them online. And I paid $2.50 for that and sold it for $14. This is a beautiful sterling silver fork. It's a very popular pattern by Gorham called Lansdowne. It's really important when you're selling something like this to figure out what the pattern is. It takes some detective work sometimes, because I wasn't even sure who the maker was, so I had to really hunt around for it. And the pattern was manufactured between 1917 and through the 80s, I think, so hard to know what the date is. But anyway, it was sterling silver, so I sold that for $28. And finally, the last item I sold was this little button hook, a very Art Nouveau Victorian sterling silver, and I paid $4 for that at the flea market and sold it for $28. And my numbers, all of these prices are buyer pay shipping, and they are all the prices I made before paying any Etsy or eBay fees. So the total gross for the week is $734.29. Total expenditures for all of those items was $139.72 for a profit of $594.57. Really good week. Yay. Go fourth quarter. Thanks for watching. I think the next video I have will be a haul video. I know I've had a lot of these sales videos in a row because I haven't been buying because I've been trying to deal with all of my inventory, but I've kind of got it down to a manageable level, and so I'll be going to the flea market this weekend. Yay! Most of these items are for sale in my Etsy shop, which is vintagedazzle.etsy.com, or on eBay, where my seller name is Carol Lennox. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you want to do. Thanks. Bye.